NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, you good? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Thursday, May 14, which basically means that it's Friday, which basically means it's the weekend. Your mate Jim says you can just no more work. You're fine. It's all right. Just everybody chill. That's right. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios with another NBA Straya and a Game 5. It was pivotal! Pivotal! I love a pivotal Game 5. Of course it's pivotal. It's Game 5, you idiots. Pistons-CAVS. Cavs finally win a game on the road. We'll talk about that in a second. Bryce Cotton is a boomer. That's pretty neat. Josh Giddey had surgery. That's not as neat. Jeez. A few other bits and bobs here and there. Anyway, we'll wrap up today's game. We'll give away some awards. That's not an eye fault made no mate. Spud of the night, better than Lonzo Ball. Get some yenas. An unpopular opinion of the day. An OUTBACK Takehouse, and a Luke Longley Memorial Role Player of the Week award to give out. And then we'll pick and preview the two games on Saturday. That's right, there's no games tomorrow, so we're not going to do a show tomorrow. This will be the Game 6 preview episode as well. So they've gone a back-to-back on America's Friday, so we get two games on our Saturday. So no games tomorrow, so at the end of the show, we'll deep dive Game 6 of Cleveland, Detroit, and San Antonio, Minnesota. So that'll be fun, I assume. We'll find out when we get there. Anyway, it's episode 1404 of NBA Straya, and let's go, shall we?
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Australia.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better. Because, I don't know, they had a good gone fishing today for the Lakers, which is pretty fun. I don't know, it's always weird with the Inside the NBA crew on, this version, right? Not the TNT version. Everything feels I don't know, a little bit watered down. It's a bit weird. Anyway, you better watch out for the, Detroit are spewing over themselves attack if you're the Pistons and a Pistons fan, because that was absolutely bloody horrible. We'll get to that in a second. Let's start with the daily. Oh, the whip around, Jim. Yes, it is. So as I said, no games tomorrow, which is pretty weird. So there's basically this little 2-day break for San Antonio, Minnesota, which obviously benefits Minnesota. Ant-Man and AO get a little bit of extra time to rest up. But yeah, I do like, they're like, yeah, look, because of the Game 7s, yeah, we've got these two Game 6s on the same day. It's like, surely you're better off spreading those out. But again, I'm just the Vice President, Common F and Sense. What do I know? Anyway, so yeah, this will be our last show for this week. What we're going to do is we've got the Game 6s on Saturday. So on Saturday, we might do a quick show in the afternoon on Saturday after those games. Maybe on Sunday like we sort of tend to do, and set you up for any potential Game 7s. But we will do a show following those Game 6s. Speaking of 6s, that was a good one, Jim. Good segue, thank you. One thing I forgot to mention yesterday, in taking a quiet victory lap about Daryl, I'm a dumb fuckhead Daryl Morey, he gets shit canned by the Sixers. The thing I forgot to bring up was the fact that the Sixers are bringing in Bob Myers to find Daryl Morey's replacement. At which point, I'm struck by two things. Number one, Bob Myers still has amazing hair. And number two, why the fuck is Bob Myers not just doing a Doc Rivers or the bloke from Jeopardy? Remember that guy? He's like, I'm trying to find the best guy for this job. Oh, I think it's me. And everyone's like, wait a minute, you're a dickhead. How are you tasked with finding the host and then named yourself? You're a bellend. Doc Rivers did the same thing, you might remember. assigned to basically, help out that coaching situation there in Milwaukee. Adrian Griffin gets shit canned. Doc Rivers is like, I'll help find out a new I'll take all the money. I'll do it. Waste a couple of years piss farting about and then is shit canned himself. So good job, Doc. Anyway, Bob Myers should just run the fucking Sixers. I can understand why he would like to get paid to not run the Sixers, though. This is the greatest gig. I love these consultancy gigs because it's like, hey, yeah. I don't want to coach the team. I don't want to run the team. But give me a bunch of cash to tell you who you should actually get to coach or run the team. But I don't want any fucking part of that mess. I don't want to do it. I've spent the last fucking 10 years dealing with Draymond Green. You think I want to deal with Joel Embiid? Fuck no. So good job by Bob Myers. But anyway, other news. OG Anunoby, the AOG, is expected to play in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, I have mentioned I am heading to the States next week. I am very much hoping that we get a Game 7 in Detroit, Cleveland, because that means I get much more exposure to potential Knicks Eastern Conference games whilst over in the States. I'm there for like 10 days, right? And so I'm going to go over, hang out, go to a couple of games. And I would very much like probably Detroit because it's going to be a cheaper ticket to go and a cheaper place to stay. So yeah, it's all a little bit up in the air. But anyway, OG, look, they would start the Eastern Conference Finals if Cleveland win Game 6. They would start that our Monday. I leave next Wednesday. So yeah, I just want that to get pushed back and Game 1's on the day I land. So that'd be kind of sweet. So if Detroit can do me a bit of a solid and extend this series, that'd be really good. Anyway, because obviously if Detroit do end up winning the series, which is a bit tough now, they would have the first 2 home games. And then the weekend I'm actually in New York, the Knicks would be in town for those games. So just saying, if the basketball gods could help you mate Jim out, that would be much appreciated. Right, so OG looks like he's going to be back for Game 1. Very, very much like that. And Knicks fans should enjoy that as well. Other little bits and bobs. The refs. There was an amazing... The Players Association graded the refs. I love this story. A 1 to 5 rating scale. They rate all 73 refs. Scale of 1 to 5. The Tier 1, elite and top performers. The Tier 2, solid performers. And the Tier 3, needs improvement. The needs improvement tier was a bit, how you going? Because it's a lot of the young folks. My favorite, though, I think in the solid performers is that Leon Wood, you have Scott Foster in there as well. Like a couple of other, how you going? But the elite and top performers, I think it is weird that Tony Brothers is in there where he's just so hit and miss that it blows your mind. I think Mark Davis does a decent job. You've also got, I think, one of the better ones out there tends to be Zach Zarba, and I think he was the highest rated one as well. I'm like, this makes sense. When you watch as much NBA as I do, you just end up seeing the same refs and like which ones you like, that guy stinks, this person stinks, they stink, what are you doing? So yeah, anyway, Josh Tiven, decent as well. But still, I love that they rated them, and I do love that Zach Zarba, so highest rated amongst them all. I think one team had your man Scott Foster in there. Everybody else was just dogging him. So that's how he ended up in Tier 2. But yeah, bit of a strange one. But anyway, the other 2 big news for the Aussies. Josh Giddey had ankle surgery. Picture of him in the hospital bed eating grilled. Good for him. I would do exactly the same. Love grilled. Got a lot of time for grilled. I think grilled is a bit... Look, I love a beer. This might come as a shock to people, but yes, I like beers. And an underappreciated aspect of grilled is that usually you can sit there and have a few tins with your burger, like if you're eating in the thing. For a quick I've got to go do something, I need to smash something before I get really shit-faced, grilled, top notch. Top notch. I'm just saying. You made Jim's an experienced campaigner here. So yeah, got a lot of time for grilled. If they want to sponsor the show, please hit me up. But anyway, so the ankle injury came from, if you remember his Paris Olympics sort of the miscue there. And it's sort of been like a bit of a thing. He's also had the calf, abs, the hammy, all this sort of stuff. So he's gone and had surgery. Fingers crossed he's all good. expected to return to the court in 3 months. So fingers crossed, Giddey is all good and he's ready to rock and roll for the Bulls and their number 4 pick this season. The other big one for the Aussies, Bryce Cotton is a boomer. This is awesome. Basically, we just got a Patty Mills replacement, which is kind of neat. It's like, I don't know, just really fills a need. So he's going to, I think the Boomers take on Guam and the Philippines, those bastards, in Perth. So I do like, it's the World Cup Asian qualifiers. Bang, love this. Bryce Cotton, out you go. Whooping. He's going to go absolutely ham. I'm excited. So anytime you can add a scoring punch like that of Bryce Cotton to a team that desperately usually needs a scoring punch, you should do it. So that's great. Big thumbs up for me. Bryce Cotton, boomer. All right. Yeah, let's do the game wrap. Game wrap. Game wrap. Oh, boy.
Cleveland!
117. The Detroit basketballing Pistons 111 in overtime. Many would ask, what the hell was that?
What was that? What the hell was that?
I think I tweeted out a live look at Detroit's offense, and it's the Family Guy gif where they're all spewing all over each other and themselves. That's what this game just degenerated into, if you're a Pistons fan. It was a weird one. So this was a very strange game. It was a very fun game as well, very back and forth. Like Detroit got up 15 in that second quarter. They just gave them the old 1-2 Costa Zoo. Bang, bang, bang. Off they go. They're flying. They look $1 million. Jalen Duren, couple of little flashes, not too shabby. And then stupid, sexy Strus gets them back into it. Hits those couple of those threes in the back half of the second quarter. They get it down to an 8-point halftime lead for Detroit. And then it just goes bloody haywire. They've basically tied it up, essentially, right? Like what? They tied it up halfway through the third quarter. It's 68-68. And then it just goes hammer and tongs for like the rest of the game. Like Detroit, the only time Detroit actually sneak away is at the very end of the fourth quarter, and then they blow that. So, but it was a crazy setup where Cleveland have fought all the way back. Their defense was just phenomenal. But then, so you have this huge third quarter. The Cavs have the lead heading into the fourth. You're like, what the hell just happened, Detroit? How is this all happening? And they're up by 4, I think, going into the fourth quarter. Yeah, 84-80. And you're like, Jesus, what did you do, Detroit? Cleveland were absolutely smoking. Harden was really good early on as well. It was him and Strus who sort of got them back into it. Mobley was sort of doing a lot of stuff. It was a really, really fun game. And then Cleveland just start barfing over themselves. Turnovers. It's 89-89, 7 minutes to go. Detroit have basically pulled it all the way back. Cade hits a 3. They have some sweet defense. There's a sweet block from B-Ball Paul, who's going to feature heavily in this recap. There's a Mitchell miss, a Tobias Harris pass to Dan Ayers-Jenkins 3. Bang, 10-0 run. Pistons up 6. They get this amazing block from Orsar Thompson, a run out. He slapped the shit out of a Jared Allen shot. Free throws for Orsar Thompson, hits them both. It's a 12-0 run. They're up 97-89. There's a couple of free throws back the other way. Dan Ayers-Jenkins gets an and 1 to go. 4 minutes left in the game. They're up 9. 9! The Detroit Basketball League Pistons. They are, in fact, still up 9 points with about 3.5 minutes to go. They're up 6 after Strus still hits a 3 there with 3.5 minutes to go, but not before that, they're up 9. And it all just falls apart. It all completely falls apart. Strus, when he hits that 3, it's just absolutely immaculate stuff. 2.5 minutes left. It's still a 7-point game. Detroit get offensive rebounds. They miss both shots. It's just, what is going on? Mobley's getting this sick dunk off of Mitchell falling out of bounds play, which I don't know how he managed to stay in bounds and get it to Mobley. It's a 5-point game. There's a shot clock violation for Detroit. Gets B-ball Paul, tries to he jumps too early. Mobley's just like, okay, bang, get that out of here. Minute 30 left. Mobley hits a 3. It's a 2-point game. It's It's a 7-0 Cavs run in the last 2 minutes. Tobias misses a 3, a minute to go. Harden misses a floater, gets it back, throws it out to Mitchell. Mobley gets fouled, free throws. We're tied at 103. 45 seconds left. Unbelievable gear. And Tobias Harris gets the offensive rebound off a Cade miss. 30 seconds left. My sweet baby carrots. It's his misses it all. Shot clock violation. Mitchell loses the ball after a Thompson steal. He gets tripped. No foul. We are going to overtime. 103-103. Should that have been called a foul? Yeah, nah. Yes. It was ridiculous. Anyway, straight out of the overtime, there's an Allen dunk. There's a Mitchell bucket. It's a 13-0 Cavs run across the end of the fourth quarter into the overtime. Suddenly it's a 4-point Cavs lead. Detroit literally just couldn't score. 6 straight missed shots. 6 straight, I think it was 5 missed shots, 6 straight scoreless possessions. Harden tries to game a 3-point foul. It doesn't go. You have B-ball Paul get a couple of free throws. And 3 minutes to go. Cleveland is still up 2. Then, the absolute turning point of this game. At that exact moment, Mitchell hits his first 3 of the game. Donovan Mitchell had not hit a 3 all game. He's 0-6. Hits this one. Bang! Then, Cade gets the ball, plays for a foul off Strus. Strus is just like, what are you doing? Steals it. Boom. Pass to Donnie Mitchell. Layup. Cavs are up 7 in the blink of an eye. It's seriously like 8 seconds. And they've gone from up 2 to back up 7. And Detroit are not able to score. And completely hard up against it. Still, look, you get this B-ball Paul hook shot. You get a Mobley miss at the rim, which was crazy. Dennis Jenkins gets a layup. It's a 3-point game. Harden draws a foul. Only goes 1 or 2. You get a Harden block, a Cavs turnover. It's still a 4-point game with a minute to go. Karras hits it. Oh, no, the 3 goes in and out. Karras, you're breaking my heart. Harden misses this weird floater alley-oop. Cade gets fouled. Out of the timeout, Cade hits a 3. No, it's a bloody 2. So it's 1-13. He had his foot on the line. 25 seconds left. Harden misses another free throw after that. He gets his own free throw rebound because Cade's asleep and dives like under the basket for some reason. Stupid. Detroit then have 3 bites of the cherry. They spew all of themselves. Harris miss, Jenkins miss. And from up 9 with like a few and a half minutes to go, they score no points and get completely cooked. And Cleveland, that's right, Cleveland are up 3-2. What a game. You had, like, seriously, that Mitchell 3, the Strus steal, pass to Mitchell, beautiful pass, layup, boom, to get them back up 7 was the key moment of this game. The Pistons completely filling their DAX full of just, like, horrible diarrhea on offense was a bit how you going as well. The Pistons, like, 10 turnovers, but just the inability to score. Geez, Jim, has anyone pointed this out about Detroit? Yes, that's right. We've been saying it for fucking months, haven't we? Dennis Jenkins is all well and good, but when you don't have a shot creator, shot taker, shot maker, sounds like a Weezer song. I'm a shot maker, be a shot creator. I'm a shot maker, call me MPJ. Call me MPJ. Anyway. That wasn't too bad. This was it. Cade off his head. 39, 9, and 7, but he has 6 turnovers. But that's all right. Awesome game. 13 to 27 from the floor, 6 to 10 from downtown. Absolutely insane game. Unfortunately, when you're relying on, and this is how many times have we said this over the years in NBA Australia? Tobias Harris is like reflex. He's the opposite of it. You can never rely on Tobias Harris. Hey, Tobias Harris, we're going to be in this incredibly close playoff game at home. Cade Cunningham needs one dude to go with him. Can you get us 19 points? He's like, you got it, boss. 13 points on 19 shots. It's like, no. I said 19 points, Tobias. He's like, you got it. 19 shots. They're like, oh, fuck this guy. This fucking guy. It's the Tobias Harris corollary. You can only go as far as you possibly can with Tobias Harris on your team, and that's usually the second round. Here we are. He's the perfect, I've made more money than anybody else by doing the absolute least. It's incredible. 1 of 7 from 3 for Tobias as well. Dennis Jenkins, 19 points and 8 of 17 shooting, 2 of 8 from 3. All-Star Thompson, amazing defense, 4 steals, 3 blocks, was absolutely everywhere. Basically, the Cavs couldn't have, like, whoever's, like, Thompson is checking, they can't have the ball because he might just take it from them and we won't get a shot. B-Ball Paul, 10 and 8 with a couple of blocks. He was absolutely... How your entire offense turns into, get the ball to fucking Paul Reed is beyond me. Cade Cunningham giving the ball to Dennis Jenkins for an ISO for an entire like crunch time possession. Again, I'm a bit perturbed. But none so more perturbed than by Jalen Duren. No fourth quarter OT minutes. 9 points, 5 rebounds. What the fuck was that?
What was that? What the hell was that?
Karras, 7 points and 7 shots. The 0 of 3 from 3 is the real kick in the dick from Karras. And I can't remember if I tweeted this out, but that's why you can't waste the game where Karras is good in game 4. You let Donovan Mitchell go off his head. You got 24 fucking points from Karras. That's probably not going to happen again in the series. You blew it. Beef, 8 and 2. No Duncan Robinson. They kind of missed his shooting a bit. They go 11 of 33 from downtown, but that's because Cade was out of his fucking mind, was 6 of 10. But yeah. Obviously, the big thing there for Detroit, the glaring, bash you over the head with a 4x2 lack of another offensive creator. Tobias Harris, I mean, if only we had a track record of him not being him. You know what I'm saying? The Cavs, that's right, Cleveland. What a game. Harden, 38 and 6. 6 assists, 6 turnovers. Harden giveth, Harden taketh away. 3 blocks, though. He was fucking everywhere. 11 of 14 from the free throw line. What was he, 9 of 9 and then misses a couple down the stretch, but gets his own rebound. There was that weird moment. So he gets that rebound off the missed free throw. The Pistons didn't have to foul. That resets to a 14-second shot clock. So, yeah, that was a bit of a fuck up. But anyway, Donnie Mitchell, 21 points, 7 of 18 from the floor. Not great. 1 of 8 from downtown, but the one that he hit was fucking huge. Jared Allen, awesome, 16 and 10. But Mobley, what a game from Evan Mobley. Hit some really clutch free throws. Hits a huge 3 right at the end of that game. Ends up with a 19, 8 and 8 with 3 blocks. That's the Mobley we've been expecting. He was awesome in game 4, awesome in game 5. Wade gave him 23 minutes of cardio, 0 points, 0 shot attempts, 0 free throws. He had 6 rebounds, 0 assists, and a steal. Bloke's just running back and forth. Dennis Schroeder, Rondo had 5 and 5. Strus, he's the other big one. 6 threes off the bench from Maxi Stupid Sexy Strus. Why is he Stupid Sexy Strus, Jim? Because Charles Barkley after the game's like, man, that's a pretty man. He's still pretty. Stupid Sexy Strus, 20 points. Merrill hit a couple of threes as well. And now Cleveland are in the driver's seat. They win their first road game of these playoffs. They didn't win a road game all in the first round. They don't win the first couple here in the second round. Now they have, and they're up 3-2, going home with a chance to close it out at home. So, who was the NBA Straya approved performer of the night?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I can't say James Harden. I can't. It's just, but Jimmy was really good. Was he? Was he? He was perfectly fine. He also, gacked all over himself down the stretch in classic Harden fashion. And, yeah. I want to give this to a combination of Strus and Mobley, who were absolutely fucking massive in this game. Strus's 20 points, the 6 threes were absolutely ridiculous. And crucially, he hits like a 3 there. I mean, it's obviously in the second quarter, gets them back into the game. There's that other big 3 that I sort of talked about that really got them essentially on this sort of wild run. And you're like, oh, hang on. This is a bit, how you going? That was after the Dennis Jenkins and 1. Strus nails a 3. Gets them back within 6. Because that was the point where it was getting a little bit, oh, fuck, here we go. So, yeah, that was a really big moment. Because then after Tobias hits a three, it's back up 9 with those 3.5 minutes to go, right? But Strus had like given them that moment. And if they had kept continued to pace, it would have gotten out of hand and boom. There you go. So from basically he kept them within touch and would all like the steal at the end as well. The feed back to Mitchell is probably the underrated part. It was an incredibly good pass off the steal, finding Mitchell, through he goes. But yeah, Detroit, after blowing a 9-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go, they've got zero excuses. But Strus and Mobley were the guys. Like Mobley's dunk from Mitchell was incredible. The Mobley 3 to get them back within 2 was absolutely mammoth. And that's the sort of like, this is the Mobley we all wanted to see. Give us more of this Mobley. This is awesome. This is a Mobley that you can sort of see playing against the Knicks, and it would be kind of fun and a very interesting challenge. But anyway, just hope he keeps it up. So I'll give it to Strus and Mobley, and obviously Cade Cunningham playing a fucking lone hand basically for the poor Pistons. 39, 7 and 9. Absolutely taking the piss. Plays 48 minutes. This bloke had a collapsed lung 2 weeks ago. Fucking hell. So yeah, not bad. Good size. All right, who is Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Oh, this one hurts. Jalen Duren doesn't play in the fourth quarter. It was, oh boy, to be outplayed by basketball Paul once is fine, right? To make it a regular occurrence is a bit of a how you going. It was a bit of a Barry Crocker shocker. And so the fourth quarter minutes for him being 0 is a bit of a worry. Basketball Paul plays essentially all 12 minutes of the fourth quarter and then comes out in the overtime and plays all 5 minutes again. It's a bit of a self-pantsing, and it's also a spud of the night because this is your dude that you've relied on all season, 20 and 10. It's bloody Jalen Duren. I think I've got him in, second or third team All-NBA. He was fantastic, and suddenly he's getting played out of the series. It's nuts. Basketball Paul coming out and kicking some ass. That is a bloody worry. So, yeah, Jalen Duren turning into a very large spud is a really big worry. In the 25 minutes that he played, somehow they were a minus 16. Yeesh. Right? Holy crap. Flip side, B-Ball Paul plays 17 minutes plus minus of 0. So, I don't know. That is a big bloody worry. Jalen Duren. Honorable mentions got to go to my sweet baby Karras for his 2 of 7 shooting as well. And of course, Tobias. 13 points on 6 of 19 shooting. Now, the other thing is the Pistons complaining about the free throws, which let's do that in a bit of the old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? So it's kind of the Pistons not getting calls that they kind of should. The foul on Orsar Thompson at the very end of regulation. Look, you don't usually want to essentially decide a game with a call, but when you're basically tripping a player over, usually that's a free throw or a foul at least. So that was a bit strange. But still, I think there's also these sort of weird things where I think, 12 free throws today to 34. And JB Bickerstaff coming out and bitching and moaning. But the weird part is, it's like, the disparity over the last 3 games is like, it's a record. It's absolutely nuts. 72 to 32 the last 2 games. And you're like, hang on a second. That seems pretty bad. But then you remember, in game 1, the Pistons had 22 more free throws than the Cavs. But yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. Stop your bitching. Play your basketball. So old mate, no mates is a bit obviously Jalen Duren as well, being replaced by basketball Paul, not playing the fourth quarter and overtime. It's a bit of an old mate, no mate situation because regular season merchant, ? Restricted free agency is getting a little bit, look out as well. And obviously old mate, no mates. Ranking the refs, I love this. I think we should have absolute report cards from every single player about all of the refs. Give me more of that. Pantsing of the night. The block from Orsa Thompson on Jarrett Allen was absolutely ridiculous. He was so casual about it. He's just like, that's a really tall bloke with like a big throw. So he's launching the ball from quite high up. I don't give a shit. I'm awesome Thompson. Bang! Slaps the absolute shit out of that ball. And that is a pantsing. Allen does get the, get the win and a sick dunk at the start of the overtime, but still, that was a hell of a block. I'll tell you what. Finally, better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, and Ben Simmons.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Dennis Jenkins, that is crazy. Dennis Jenkins. In his, second year, bloke is off his head. Yes, there was probably almost a little bit too much Dennis Jenkins in that game. But by the same token, he's all they've got because Jaden Ivey is an absolute lunatic and shit at basketball. Dennis Jenkins, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 0 turnovers. Not bloody bad. And easily better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, and Ben Simmons because he shot 8 of 17, 2 of 8, and wasn't afraid like Ben Simmons was. So, yeah, still love me some Dennis Jenkins, but just almost feels like it's a little bit too much Dennis Jenkins. All right, this is also the end of our week. So should we do a bit of everyone's favourite, a magic tweet of the week? I reckon we should, Jim. I reckon we should. This was heading into the other game, today's game. After 2 straight losses, the Pistons will have to make some major adjustments in Game 5 back at home. I mean, thanks, Magic. He wasn't wrong. Amazing. All right. Finally, a bit of dickhead of the week.
Dickhead of the week.
Dickhead of the week. It's just still going to be Draymond, right? We keep getting all these like weird little Draymond bits and bobs. My favorite is still just like him going into damage control about the Charles Barkley stuff. And you're just like, this guy sucks ass. But dickhead of the week, him being in the actual sort of the Kevin Hart roast and getting roasted time and time again. Hook that shit to my veins. Like saying that Steph Curry carried him to the roast was pretty fucking funny. The violence bit was pretty funny. I absolutely loved it. And Draymond, absolute dickhead. And I very much enjoyed him being roasted as fuck. So I did, though, appreciate his Chelsea handler joke. So if you missed that one, it was pretty good. I never have and never will smash Chelsea handler. I'm Draymond Green. I don't hit threes. Oh, funny. I'm glad someone wrote that for him, but still a dickhead. All right, so let's do some yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Giddey.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You listen to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Australia.
listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, let's do some yeah-nahs. Oh, before we do, there's a funny other Draymond bit. He's got 43 games with more turnovers and field goals in the playoffs, and that's tied with Kendrick Perkins for the most since 2003. He learned that, and that was just Yeah, high comedy. Anyway, but the Yeah Nahs are brought to you by you. All the legends who have joined the Dead Set Legends Club, I appreciate you guys. You do that by buying me a coffee. How do you do that, Jim? Well, you simply go to buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia and you can buy me a tin or buy me a beer. Either way, you can sign up, be a part of the Dead Set Legends Club. You get exclusive content each month. It's awesome. And thank you so much to all the legends who have signed up, who have supported the show. Davey B, love your guts. Saki B, you're the best. I think we got an M out there as well, who's absolutely awesome. Love all of yous. There was also another one, I think. Give me 1 second. I should do the shout out, shouldn't I? Yes, you should, Jim. Don't be a dick. I try my hardest not to. But yeah, appreciate all of the people who have checked out the Dead Set Legends Club and signed up. Obviously, it's our Patreon, right? It's how we're sort of keeping the lights on here and doing what we do and trying to keep you entertained as well as we can. Yeah, there we go. Love that one. We've got the awesome NBA Supercoach one. We got, I think that was, Emmy B. Love that. And M as well. Love all your guts. Thanks, legends. You're the bloody best. Right. So you can do that. If you haven't signed up as well, go to buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. Righto. Let's do some Yenars. Hazza P, who was the bloke who hit me up yesterday. Good mate of mine. And said, hey, Jim, what's up with the first 4 and bit minutes of silence at the start of this episode? I'm like, oh, God. The file had exported with the full selection of the show rather than like the bit that I'd selected. So, yeah, hopefully that all got fixed and you're all okay. But that was a bit of a weird one. Thanks to Hazza P for shouting that one. Shouting that out is the words I was trying to say then. But he also had a couple of yeah nahs the other day that I missed. So he had a really good one as well. Are the refs reffing the LA OKC series the same as the other three? I'm very confused on if the online blow-up is justified or just very loud due to it being OKC. This was a really good point because you would think that OKC is like getting every single free throw under the sun, but no, that's not how it ended up going. Like, it was crazy. And it felt like it's like the, extremely movable object versus the really stoppable force, where it's the Lakers getting free throw calls and OKC flopping and flailing like the wailing, whipping, flailing, inflatable tube man. I can't remember how to say that properly, but a lot of that going on, and it was just reffed really strangely across the board. Like, it didn't matter. Like, OKC, you still kicked the shit out of him, but I think it's just a combination of the Lakers fans being really loud online. Or really, Jim? Yeah. And OKC being wildly hateable with all their flopping and antics. So, yeah, that makes sense. He also added, still holding your 4-1 Spurs series. I was wondering if this was the Wolves' best chance at home to really give that young core a scare. How many playoff games does it take before people stop mentioning Wemby and co. lack of experience as he drops 35, 15, and 5 again and again? I mean, look, they obviously pulled the fourth game out, did the Wolves. So I was still going for 4-1 Spurs at that point. But game 4 Wolves, after Wemby gets booted, that sort of threw a bit of a spanner in the wrench, as we say here in NBA Australia. But I think this is a really valid point, right? Like, you have to lose before you learn how to win. There is a tipping point, and I think I reckon it's around that sort of 12 to 15, 16 game mark of playoff experience. Usually, it's like a young team will make a first round and get knocked out. They'll make a second round, get knocked out, or they'll sort of make a first round, then they'll make a run to the conference finals and get knocked out. And that's kind of about where you just go, we've experienced the grind, we've experienced what it's like. But I think the crucial part is the actual getting to the finals and experiencing the finals is obviously real. Like, it just doesn't happen with young teams. It happened with OKC, you remember, back in 2012, and that was crazy and awesome. But also it came with them having been in the playoffs and like they'd gotten so good so quickly. It was all a little bit too quick. But I think we get to this point where it's like, holy shit, I don't know if it matters for this Spurs team. Dylan Harper, rookie. Castle, second year. Wemby, third year. And it's just one after the other. There will come a point, and it's probably, I think, the battle comes in this Wolves series, right? This is a team that's been to the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years. They've got plenty of experience. Like they hit that tipping point by the time they made the Western Conference Finals the next time. And they looked awesome in that run last year too, right? The thing is, I think we just have to shut up about the lack of experience that by the time you sort of make a conference finals, it's just like shush now. But yeah, if you make a finals, you can never speak about it. But you make a Western Conference Finals, you make an Eastern Conference Finals, I think that's the learning experience sort of under the belt. Because that's the fire, the crucible, where you're like, holy crap, if we win this, we're in the finals. And that's where all the pressure just like absolutely turns up to a terrifying degree. Like you remember the Boston teams making conference finals, and I think even you think about Denver and like all these other teams, I think, yeah, if the Spurs are there, we don't need to say it. OKC have been there and done that. It's like, yeah, and the Spurs are the ascending, nascent, terrifying juggernaut. So they got to do this at some point, and why not now? It's a good shout. It's a really good one. Thanks, Hazard P. Timmy M, the spin twin. Yeah, LaMelo should have called his kid Ligma. So instead of LaOne ball, it could have been Ligma ball. Either way, it's kind of weird that the kid's only got one ball, apparently. Hey, if he does, that's fine. No problems. We're not ball shaming here. That's what we do not do here in NBA Australia. But calling your kid LaOne ball is still fucking child abuse. Like, that kid's having LaMelo for a dad is probably already child abuse as well, because if he grows up to look like his dad, fucking Jesus. Imagine how bullied that kid's going to be in school. But you add that to the fact that he's named LaOne Ball. That kid wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes in Ballarat in the 80s. Fucking hell. Anyway, and hey, Jim, to revisit your from yesterday about whoever wins Cleveland-Detroit, is it regardless of the result that they will probably still make moves in the offseason? Oh, if Cleveland do close this out in 6, I think it's less likely that they obviously change shit up and like move a Mobley for Giannis or something. But Detroit, fucking definitely. They'd have to look at this and go, fuck, did we miss a fucking good opportunity to make the fucking finals because we were too afraid to mess with the vibes. You know what's better than vibes? Making the fucking conference finals. Just saying. Vibes are good. But so's winning through to the conference finals. So, yeah. Anyway, speaking of which...
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I think Detroit would still be a much tougher Eastern Conference Finals opponent for the Knickerbockers than the Cleveland Cavaliers, who I think... Again, though, look, you talk about teams that are sort of forged in the crucible of battle. I think the weird part about the Pistons... in these last 3 games. So them losing 3 straight games to Cleveland is crazy. Them being out-toughed and outworked by the Cleveland Cavaliers is crazier. Right? It just seems weird. This is a team that's like, we're the fucking toughest dudes in town. Suddenly, B-Ball Paul is playing over the top of Jalen Duren. Ron Holland is nowhere to be fucking seen. Beef Stew can barely get on the court. And they can't make a shot. Not so fucking tough now, are you? To quote a Frenzel Rom album, one of the great Australian punk albums of all time. Wildly overlooked. A Man Is Not a Camel is very good. Sansuki, awesome. But I'll tell you what, fucking Punch in the Face, one of the great Australian punk songs. Not So Tough Now, incredible album. But yeah, Detroit would still, I think, go into a Knicks series feeling confident. I don't know if the Cavs go in feeling confident against the Knicks. What is it, 2-1 the series, I think, this year? The Knicks, I think, would much rather play the Cavs. Though, I don't know, the way that Mobley's been playing, fuck. Maybe suddenly the Knicks would have to be looking at Mitch Robinson a little bit more and it gets a bit squirrely, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. But at the moment, I still think Detroit might be a little bit of a tougher one. But Hey, this series isn't even done yet, Jim. I know. How about a bit of an Outback Takehouse? Oh, I like this. Sort of follows on from that one as well. It's almost like I planned it. It's Thursday at Outback, and you know what that means. 2 for 1 bloomin' onions. When I go to the States, I am actually going to have to go to an Outback Takehouse and get a photo of some bloomin' onions just as a bit of a fucking lark, aren't I? Yes, I am. Anyway, it's 2 for 1 bloomin' onions only at Outback. No prick in Australia knows what the fuck these things are, but apparently it's some sort of fat bastard yank invention about dipping fucking onions into deep fry shit and making it look like a flower. What the fuck are you on about? Only at Outback. Today's Flame Grilled take is, with the other 2 second-round series being sweeps, you better believe that Adam Silver is working frantically behind the scenes and is going to go scorched earth in terms of the free throws to make sure that he gets 2 Game 7s in the other 2 second-round series. Only at Outback. I mean, yeah, he's got to do it. If not just for my sake, but for all of our sakes. OKC Lakers was a fucking laugher, right? Just stupid. Stupid shit. Philly against the Knicks, Game 1 and Game 4 were fucked. Right? Philly were cooked after getting by Boston. Adam Silver's like, oh, I should have given Philly a little bit of a rest between the series, shouldn't I? Yes, Adam, you should have. There was no need for that to start so fucking quickly. Anyway, yeah. Give us 2 Game 7s. That's all I ask. Australian Player Watch today very easily. I mean, no Tyrese Proctor. Did not play coach's decision. Get that on the big jobs. It is also weird. You look at the rotation. Schroeder's out there. Strus is out there. Merrill's out there. You got 3 minutes of Jalen Tyson. So Keon Ellis, much ballyhooed sort of addition. It is really just Strus getting healthy again that has really sort of fixed what has ailed the Cavs. But he had 20 and 8 today. That's such a fucking good game. Right, Luke Longley Memorial Role Player of the Day. It is Max Strus. And this is it. So they're talking about the playoff rotations. I fucking love this sort of shit. It's like, who's out there right now? Who do they trust? Who does Kenny Atkinson trust? And it's not Larry Nance Jr. It's not Thomas Not Kobe Bryant. It's not our beloved Tyrese Proctor. It's Dennis Schroeder. I am German Rondo. Which makes sense. +9, by the way. Maxi Strus, who played 36 minutes for the Cleveland Cavaliers today. 6 of 8 from 3, 2 of 2 at the line, 20 points. So that's all he took. He only took 3s, which is... This is what fucking Duncan Robinson should be doing. It's exactly what Luke Kennard should have been doing. Why every time you're touching the ball, you're not fucking shooting a 3? Learn from Max Strus. What the fuck? So yeah, anyway. Max Strus, though, 36 minutes. When called upon, steps up, kicks some ass, takes some names. 6 of 8 from the floor, all of which were 3s. 6 of 8 from 3 is absolutely where this game turns. Without him, they do not win. 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, +9 in 36 minutes. Absolutely massive. He was so important to that team today. It was great to see. Good on you, Maxi Strus. You're the Luke Longley Memorial Role Player of the Week. All right, let's do some Game 6 previews after we check out the Paddy Mills Game Day Ball Game Day Twitter chicken. What do we reckon? Here we go. Paddy Mills. Where is he? Oh, come on, Paddy, give us another little bit of something. No, nothing there. What we will do, the Paddy Mills Game Day Ball Game Day Twitter check-in. I mentioned this one earlier, though. The grilled... one for our man's Josh Giddey. Great story. Like, just all-time story. Just him munching on some grilled. He's obviously got the fries over there. He's got his hospital bickies. The foot's in a boot post-surgery. Grilled burgers makes everything better, he says. Hoeing into one. Love that. Get better soon, Gids. Friend of the show, Josh Giddey. Well, he's got nothing better to do for the next couple of months. He should come on the show again. What do you reckon? As I said on the Facey post today, though, it's like, that means we won't see him at MSAC on a random Monday night this year. Anyway, let's do it. No games tomorrow. Games for Saturday. Game previews. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad, not bad. Yeah, cruising along at the moment. Looking forward to next week. Old mate is getting her licks in right now. She's away. She's out for dinner tonight. And she's out for dinner tomorrow, and going to the using her Mother's Day present of going to the super duper fancy Bath, hot springy Bath, like fancy place in South Yarra. So she's going to be partying hard. I'll be looking after some squids because then I'm getting the F out of town for 2 weeks. But anyway, what have we got? So no games tomorrow. So we're not going to do a show tomorrow. There's unless something fucking crazy happens. But really, these are the two previews for Saturday. And I'll tell you what, these two games are looking pretty fucking tasty. So 2 game 6s. Saturday, we've got 9 a.m. Detroit at Cleveland. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 3.5 point favorites at home to close out this series. Oh boy. They are playing in a venue they have not lost these playoffs. I think I had in today's NBA Coffee Run video, the home team had won the last 14 Cavs games, which is crazy. But Cleveland haven't lost here, obviously, all playoffs. Detroit, I don't feel great about them. I do not feel great about them right now. Cade Cunningham, awesome game. The lack of support from the other guys, it was all so very fucking predictable that it almost breaks your brain, right? Makes me sad, but anyway. 9 a.m. Saturday, however, I'm going to take the Detroit basketballing Pistons plus 3.5. Why is that, Jim? Well, there is still a bloke on the Cleveland Cavaliers by the name of James Harden. And if you give him a Game 6, a must-win at-home Game 6 in a playoff series, he could very easily go 2 for 9, 7 points. 4 turnovers, 2 assists, and you're like, what just happened? You're like, you just got hardened. He has been playing okay this series. Today was really, really good, but again, down the stretch, absolutely abysmal. He could very easily just be fine, and that's kind of like the secret sauce here. When James Harden is not your number one dead set killer in the clutch, you can leave that to Donnie Mitchell. It's like a secret superpower. It's a very interesting sort of mix and match idea. However, I think Detroit have got one more lick in them, and I'll take the plus 3.5 because even if they lose, I think they make this a close one. So I think I'm going to go out swinging. If Detroit get blown out, whatever. They didn't deserve to be there. We know the holes in their game. We've talked about the Pistons defense being the best unit in this series, and that's been true. But today, they were undercut completely by the shithousedness of their own offense. So the defense got its legs cut out from under them. Couldn't step up in the big crucial times. That also happened in Game 4 when they couldn't slow down Donnie Mitchell, who went completely in fuego for a full fucking half of playoff basketball. So I'm a little bit worried about the Pistons, obviously. But got to dance with the one who brung you. I'm taking the Detroit Pistons plus 3.5 on Saturday at 9 a.m. Game 6, this is also a bit of wishful thinking. Because as I said, if we get a Game 7th, baby, it means that the start of the conference finals coincides with me getting to the States and being in the States to watch conference finals basketball. Whereas if the Cavs win Game 6, the conference finals start our Monday next week, and I'm sitting here going, okay. And especially if the Cavs win, that means the Knicks host those first 2 games, and I don't think we'd have a game while I'm in New York. I think actually there might be still one there. Yeah, because I am there for 3-4 nights. So anyway, I'll figure that out. Don't worry. But still, I'd much rather be there when it's like the absolute fucking hyper psycho games 3 and 4 in New York for like Saturday, Monday, whatever, if we get a Game 7. So give me a Game 7, Detroit. That's all I ask. That's all I want from you this year. Simple as that. Then Game 6, San Antonio, Minnesota. The Wolves are 4.5 point home underdogs Down 3-2, backs against the wall. An insane Minnesota playoff crowd. It's going to be going apeshit. I'm going to take both underdogs on Saturday. I'm going to take the Wolves plus 4.5 because I sort of feel like they've got... Look, remember, if you think the team can win, take the points. The same goes for Detroit. I think Detroit can win that. I feel less confident, but I think they can. Minnesota, I think they can win this game. They have proven their ability to win these games against San Antonio. They have already done it twice. I do, however, sort of think we might get a bit of a game one aspected sort of game here, right? Because the way the Spurs have won a couple of these games so far, absolutely waxed them in game 2, beat them by 7 in game 3 in Minnesota. The Wolves win by 5 and then they get waxed in game 6. So there's a couple of waxings in there. And like the other ones have been relatively close. I think we might get another relatively close. And I'm going to take the 4.5, right? So I'll take the Minnesota plus 4.5 at home with an extra day of rest for AO, for Ant-Man, for them to figure out how the fuck to use Rudy Gobert. Rudy! Oh, That's what I'm trying to figure out here. I think we can get a little bit more out of the Wolves one more game. So I'm going to take the Wolves plus 4.5. Even if they do lose this game 6, I've got a feeling it'd be a very close one. I can't see them getting absolutely smoked in a game 6 at home. Right? They did get smoked-ish, but both the times they got smoked were in San Antonio. So that's where I'm going to go. I'll take the plus 4.5 with the Wolves at home. Should be a good one. Can't wait. Saturday is going to be off its bloody head. And that's it. That's it for this week. So we, as I said, scheduling note, we'll be back on either Saturday or Sunday following those 2 game 6s to set you up for either whatever the conference finals will be, which would be OKC San Antonio and Knicks Cavs, if the game 6s go the other way, or the game 7s that could be coming. So hopefully we get 2 game 7s on the Monday. That'd be kind of neat. Just saying. So either way, we'll be jumping back on to say good day. So in the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on the socials, Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube. We'll probably still do an NBA coffee run tomorrow at some point. Basically just to be like, yep, cool, this is all the latest news. Here's the picks for Saturday, etc. But for the minute, we're still going the underdog, so she'll be right. You can find all of our picks, obviously, over at Dabble. The link is in the show description and the social bios. Get around Footy Unfilterated. Great show this week. Me and Jez talking all things AFL. Always love doing that. Power Rankings coming out today as well. Get around NFL Australia with myself and Gaz. Jim does Supercoach as well. All those shows. Go check them out. AFL Supercoach, that went up this week. Jim does Supercoach. Bit of a rough AFL week, but Naz is out. What do we do? I talked that through. So anyway, follow all, star, subscribe, rate, review on all of your podcast apps, YouTube, whatever. Say good day to your mate Jim. Would appreciate that. Would also appreciate anybody who wants to become a Dead Set Legend and join the Dead Set Legends Club. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. Love to all the people who have actually already signed up and support the show. You guys are the best. Davey B, you rock. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, as well as House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sextro, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear. Smash them all on your music streaming platform of choice. NBA Australia, Sport Australian Bands. And we are going to close out with a Jingles HR. Look out, it's back. Woo! Can't wait. So this is going to be a fun one. And we will catch you on NBA Coffee Run probably tomorrow and then on a big show following the Game 6s. So we'll speak to you then, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would ya? Hug your mates. And later, hosen. Joe Ingles here, head of Jingles HR, the world's leading HR solutions firm. Yep, because when I'm not sinking threes, blowing kisses to me kids, telling Ant-Man how to use contraception, and looking forward to spending time at my beach house or my real estate in Paul George's Head, I am the world's leading HR expert, helping you with all your HR questions and problems. So, let's get to this week's question, shall we? It comes from a Daryl in Philly. Dear Joe, have you ever been fired from a job you loved just for doing your job? Because it feels a bit unfair, doesn't it? How did you deal with it? Because all I did was I did all the right things. I looked at the numbers. I looked at the numbers some more. I listened to the numbers, checked the numbers again, caressed the numbers a couple of times, and then I did what the numbers told me. And somehow I got fired. What's up with that? Asking for a mate, I guess. Yeah, a mate. Cheers, Daryl in Philly. Oh, cheers. Look, first off, cheers for writing in, Daryl. And yeah, that is, it is a tough one. But look, you've got to look at this from HR's perspective. Did you hit your KPIs? Your KPIs might be success-based. Your KPIs might be involved with making sure that those numbers match up with the other numbers that perhaps you're giving to some of the other employees, if you get my drift. But really, as we say here all the time at Jingles HR is, did the people working with you love working with you? Did they know that you were something that wasn't a computer? Did you take into any sort of consideration their feelings? Because that is what makes a good HR guru. We might be full of absolute rubbish terms and absolutely nonsensical acronyms. But when it comes down to it, HR is all about heart. You can't spell heart without HR. So, I hope you get past this, Daryl, and best of luck to you. But you got to remember, numbers aren't your friends. Friends are your friends. And the people you work with, you can't treat them like numbers. Very simple stuff. So, that's all we've got time for this week. From Jingles HR, I've been Jingling Joe Ingles. Go get a job up ya.